Devaney, the right-hander out of Escondido, turned 29 on New Year's night.
Talked to him last night, Jim. He said he's living the dream.
Well, he was fourth just 3 weeks ago at the U.S. Open in Fountain Valley. Called it his coming out party, didn't he?
Said he's living the dream. He's taken the experience from the U.S. Open, applied it to this week. He said he's a little more acclimated now with the TV lights and you know what goes on, the pressure that's involved in bowling under the lights and the cameras. Parker taking a re-rack on the right lane.
Defeated the wild card earlier, Dennis Horan, 216 to 202.
This guy here is so busy. I'm surprised he's able to fit this tournament into his schedule, Jim. His fan club, the Bohn Zone, has over 1,200 members in 7 different countries. He's got an instructional book, a website. Wife Leslie, his agent, spearheads all of that activity. She told us last night he is booked with exhibitions to the end of May.
You look at the patches that everybody's wearing. 41, of course, represents the number of titles that the great Earl Anthony has in the record book. He looks just like he did a couple of weeks ago. It's okay to breathe, Mike. It's okay to inhale and exhale occasionally.
I guarantee you his mindset coming into this telecast is a lot different than it was at the U.S. Open. Parker using 2 different bowling balls.
So a spare in the first and a likely spare in the second. Mike Devaney opens up with a strike in the first.
You know, and it's not often that you see Parker throw a shot and have it not, you know, and have it not hit the pocket, and then have him give the pins that stare where he's kind of confused or bewildered or not really sure how to play the lanes.
And the road 2 for the man from Escondido, as that competition was here all week long with enthusiastic crowds. Tough one against Chris Barnes there. They went 3-2. They went to the rubber. Mike has an interesting take on the word pressure. He says, who's putting pressure on me? Me.
Sorry, Jim. What a break that was. You're absolutely right. He said that he's his own worst enemy. His mindset is right. There's not the pressure. He doesn't put too much pressure on himself. But watch this great break early on. This ball's not going to get back to the 1-3. He leaves the 2-8-10. And all of a sudden, there's just the 2-pin.
Three left-handers making the final 5. Lefties 9-4 this week.
Only 1-4 on the TV pair. So
that's that pesky oil.
It's that they've struggled a little bit. I think Patrick Allen actually had the best look on the TV pair. He's no longer with us. Max is Parker.
Well, I'm talking about the oil. I kid you about qualifying, but you actually got drafted a bit, didn't
you? Yeah. Well, you know, it was just a nice experience for me just to get to the round of 32 and experience what this new format is all about. I had Chris Barnes down 2-0 and had him right where I wanted and let him off the hook. Of course, him being a great player showed his maple mox. He came back and really whooped me pretty good the next few games.
When you talk about Parker Bohn posting a shot, I mean, we talk about a basketball player posting up, but when you say he posts a shot, folks at home don't know what that means.
Posting a shot is when you get to the foul line, you let go of it, and you freeze. You don't move. You post the shot. Parker Bohn is one of the best at doing that. When he lets go of it, you watch his form. He doesn't move after he lets go. That's why he's so extremely accurate. There's not a whole lot of moving parts when he's letting go of the bowling ball.
Game of no-tap going.
Parker just said he's got the no-tap thing going. Unfortunately, Parker, we're not bowling no-tap. You better get the striking, son. I don't know.
Denny DeSerio and Dan Spieber. Watch him post now.
Watch Parker's head, how it doesn't move, and watch him post that shot.
And then?
I don't know what that is. I don't know if he has like some magic dust he just sprinkled on the approach or what the deal is. But here's Mike Devaney on the right lane trying to make it 2 in a row.
Strike, spare, strike, and now that.
Man, it's 2 shots in a row on the right lane. The ball didn't hook up to the pocket. And, I watched Mike in practice. Boy, he had a great shot on both lanes. Will carries down a little bit. All of a sudden, the ball doesn't bite, doesn't make it back to the 1-3, and he's left himself with a very tough split, the 2-4-10. Got to get the ball to the left side of the 2-pin, slide it over in the 10.
Oh.
It's a new surface that we're bowling on this week. We've got the synthetic surface. This is HPL synthetics. And what HPL does a lot of times is it lends to playing the outside line. I played outside all week long. The left-handers obviously playing 5 to 7 board. And, the left-handers are much better at playing the outside line versus right-handers because they do it more often. This HPL condition, but surface really lends itself to the outside line. 3 lefties in the finals today.
Uh-oh.
Well, right now, Mike Devaney is struggling to get it off his hand.
Scott West
some more work.
And he talked about using the championship, the U.S. Open at Fountain Valley, as a learning curve. What do you think he's learned the most? I mean, after his coming out party.
Well, I think it's the entire atmosphere of a television show. I mean, you get out here, the lights are on. You think that you're not going to be nervous, but the fact is you're going to be nervous. And it's basically how you're going to handle your nerves and apply it to having some kind of success or using that extra adrenaline to making good shots. And right now he's just not making good shots. As you can see, he's very disgusted with the shot making. 2 shots wide on the right lane. Comes back with a shot on the left lane that was wide again after throwing 2 strikes there.
Just keep fighting for us, okay? Plenty of work. I'm ready for government to look out for people who want
4:30 Eastern Time on ESPN.
Just when it looks like Parker's getting lined up, comes in light again. The thing is that Parker will figure out the lanes. He's going to make changes, he's going to make adjustments. Once he gets zeroed in, Mike Devaney better hope he's doing something other than throwing splits because Parker's going to run you over.
Usually he's the only left-hander. Now there are 3.
There's 3, lanes changed. Earl's moving all around the place.
Patrick Healy Jr. awaits the winner of this match. Healy looking for his first win. Parker, of course, looking for his 28th. And the man who's named after this tournament owns 41. Late, great Earl Anthony. The PBA Tour has rolled here to suburban Seattle. Welcome back on ESPN. We talk about the prize money being up. That's Rob Glazer in the middle, Chris Peters over on the right, and Mike Slade on the left, co-owners of the PBA. Moved the headquarters here to Seattle, and they had a little fun last night. There was a little competition, a little office get-together.
A little bowling party from Chris Peters and the gang. Well, right now, we have guys that are struggling to hit the pocket. Parker goes high on the lane that I thought he was getting pretty well zeroed in on. Now he's left himself some work with the 2-4-7-8. Problem here is the back pin, the 8-pin. Can't throw the ball straight at this spare because you won't cover the back pin. Got to get the ball to hook into the spare.
Strikes in 4 and 5, a spare in the 6th, then he converts right there. That's huge.
That's real big right now. Mike Devaney struggling.
PBA Tour's official website, pba.com. Lots of interesting information, including the latest tournament results, stats, player bios, chat sessions. If you log on right now, another Hall of Famer, Walter Ray Williams Jr., his insights on today's telecast at pba.com. Walter will be watching the Mercedes final later today. He plays 36 holes of golf when he's not bowling. 18 when he is.
Enjoys watching the golf, as do myself and many others that are pro bowlers out here.
Off the 7.
Right now, Mike Devaney struggling to put strikes together, and Parker, all he needs to do right now is fill frames until Mike Devaney forces him to start striking.
Mike said his mood has been his biggest enemy. I mean, he's his own worst enemy when he gets down on himself, too negative sometimes, huh?
Well, yeah, I think he has a tendency to get a little negative at times. Parker, that 7 pin's coming after you. Run! Run for your life!
There's a souvenir for somebody, right?
Yeah.
Get Parker to sign it.
You know, I think the thing that Mike has to look at now is, you know, if he strikes out, he shoots 203. It would force Parker to double. Watch this pin come flying back after Parker. Like, hey, you threw it too hard, you hit me too hard, I'm coming after you. Come on.
That's not posting.
No, that's not posting.
That's groveling.
Yeah. I think he's thinking that if he takes that pin out of the rack, that maybe he won't leave any more 7 pins.
Earlier today, right here, the commissioner of the PBA, Ian Hamilton, and a very special banner presentation. That, of course, is Earl Anthony's wife, Susie, there, and Earl's son, Mike Anthony, Jerry Voiles, his daughter, and his other daughter, Tracy Nelson, also here as the banner was presented to honor one of bowling's legends.
There's Susie there. Devaney on a double. Looking for a 3-bagger. Oh, what a huge break. Again, Jim, it looked like he's having trouble getting it off his hand clean.
You know, he bowled well at Fountain Valley at the U.S. Open. He got tons of calls from his sponsors after his television appearance, didn't he?
Got a lot of calls, and, you know, I'm surprised that I didn't call him, putting some money behind this kid. He's looking real good in his 2 tournaments. Shoots 4-7. Still has life.
Mom and Dad, Mona and Ed, were at the Fountain Bowl. They're watching at home today, bowling for Mike.
Hello, Parker.
Parker Bohn now just trying to stay clean, fill frames, strikes or spares, and they've been a little difficult to come by when you're having trouble hitting the pocket. You're not sure what your ball is going to do when it leaves your hand.
On the road to setting up a terrific final here at the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic. That man trying for his 28th title, and the 33-year-old Patrick Healy Jr. looking for win number 1.
Very interesting here. Parker just went to get another bowling ball to use on the left lane. There's posting a shot.
Yeah, unlike your putting stroke, his head doesn't move.
Must have
He's putting really, really well lately. The spare here is going to be a winner.
Parker Bohn III, the stroker out of Jackson, New Jersey, looks for PBA title number 28. And as we mentioned, Patrick Healy Jr. looking for that elusive win number 1. Usually it takes about 60 minutes to cross the Bremerton passenger ferry. High-speed ferry that shuttle commutes between Bremerton and Seattle in just 30 minutes now, crossing Elliott Bay. What a skyline there. Parker Bohn III advances, ousting Mike Devaney. There's the final score. We, of course, are at the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic here in suburban